Then, from the dark, they came.
Hello people of the earth and welcome back to QuickSaveTV. My name is Mike and this is the Dark Souls. Today I'm going to teach you how to actually play this goddamn game on computer. Goddamn port, I should say. The game is incredible, the port is horrendous. Thank you FromSoftware and Bandai Namco for putting a zero effort to actually make the game playable on PC. Now, even though normally if you're a normal human being you would like to buy a controller or a gamepad for yourself, which is essentially the same thing with different words, I will teach you today how to play it on the keyboard, right? Trust me, it's bearable, it's difficult but bearable. So let's start with simple menus. In order to open your menus, you have to press and, right? In my case it's escape, I just remade it. To navigate through this window you have to use arrow keys. Generally to navigate through all the windows in the game you'll have to use arrow keys as such, so just get used to that. Now in here it says, it shows you weird symbols, right? So we use enter to get into the menus and we use backspace, the erasing key, right, to get out of this menu. So let's go ahead and enter browse and use items. Now you have the list of items. To navigate through this list of items you use arrow keys again. In order to see more details about the items you have to press del. Doing so several times, in case of different items, will give you different information. Like for example, pressing it once on a short sword will give you its characteristics. Pressing it twice will give you additional information such as attack type and some lore information on the sword. Now, pressing insert in this menu will change the right side characteristics that are shown about your character. Basic one shows your characteristics as attributes, right? Level, the amount of souls and humanity. The next one uses your defensive characteristics and your offensive characteristics, as well as hit points, stamina, and etc. Equip load, as well. And the next one shows more specific and more particular characteristics, poise, bleed resist, poison resist, curse resist, and item discovery, etc. That's how you do that. So insert and del. In order to get out of this menu you press backspace. In order to select a specific item and do something with it you press enter, right? And then you get into the menu of the item. The things that are crossed out you cannot do for certain reasons, right? For example, right now you cannot use cracked red eye orb, probably because there's no one in a human form right now, so that I cannot invade their worlds, right? Okay, good. This is done. To navigate between those menus, instead of pressing the backspace, you can also press page up and page down to move like this. Let's go to the next menu, the equipment menu. In here, it's largely the same. Here it shows all kinds of stuff you can equip. Here is your right hand, here is your left hand, right? Here is your armor slots, head, chest, hands, legs. Here are your two rings, here are your bolts, here are your arrows, right? So that's how it is. Here are your usable items. You can have up to 5 of them, so yeah, choose them wisely. In order to remove any item from this place, you have to press delete while you're selecting it. In order to equip any item in this slot, you have to press enter and then select a specific item. The menu is smart enough to actually show you particular stuff that you can equip. Like once you start browsing, it will show you only stuff that you can actually put there. Okay? So now, this is about it. By pressing insert, you do the same thing you would do in the previous menu, specifically showing you different attributes, right? In order to figure out what you want to do with it. Now, that's about it. You can again exit by backspace, that's generally the same in everywhere, and you can move to another menu by pressing page up, page down. Now, here, that's more interesting. Here you can press insert in order to show you a different sheet of the character. This is how you created the character. This will show you the characteristics which you used during the creation, as well as other characteristics just as here, the general attributes and the equipped items, general overview, even though it would be more beneficial to see it through here because it gives more information, but it's just a general overview. You can make a screenshot of the character like this very easily. Now, in here, you can also press G. G will allow you to browse through characteristics using the arrow keys again and give you different explanations on what the hell all these things are. It will give you more information about things like poise, which are not really self-explanatory, item discovery, etc, 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 as well as characteristics and what do they actually improve, okay? By pressing backspace you will exit this mod and get back into the normal game. I think you cannot use it in different... No, you cannot use it here. You can only use it on the character screen, right? Very important. When you're leveling up on the bonfire, it's also very important to use it so you actually can figure out what do you want to increase more and what less. Then, in the system menu, you can change options, brightness, PC settings, key settings, and quit the game. I encourage you to quit the game using this thing instead of Alt F4, because this way you're certain that it's gonna save the game, right? That's it. Options. In options, you can customize different stuff. Come on, stop being an asshole. Oh, it just quits completely. Yeah, that's a very poor port, trust me. Amazing game, pathetic port. That's about it for the menus. Now, when you're playing the game, you move around using WSAD. It's not something peculiar, but it's very simple, easy to understand. All your left-hand actions are on Shift and Tab. So Shift, in circumstances of a shield, makes you block with the weapon. If you're using something, let me go ahead and equip it to demonstrate for you. If you're using something like a side weapon, let's go ahead and deselect Axe and put Axe in here. If you're using something like a side weapon, you can go ahead and equip it on the position of the shield, right? And this way you will be able to actually attack with it. In case of the axe, you actually block with it. Some other weapons will allow you to also attack from offhand. You pressing tab will allow you to parry. In case of the axe, it attacks. So it's generally different for every kind of weapon, so you have to figure it out yourself. Tab is usually the parrying. You have to align it with the enemy attack in order to parry, which will open you a new maneuver to counter attack called riposte. I will show it in a different video. For now, that's all you need to know. The actions on your right hand are performed with left mouse button and right mouse button. Left mouse button are generally light attacks, right mouse button are heavy attacks, right? You can also press H and U if it works for you better. It's the same thing. H is a light attack, U is a heavy attack. Then, right next to H and U, there is J, K, L, I. This will allow you to softly move your camera, unlike with the mouse. This is something very important if you prefer to play the game completely on the keyboard, but it really isn't as comfortable as playing the game on a gamepad, so I suggest you using your mouse instead. It just makes more sense. Then, what else to say? Alt allows you to switch to different weapon, right? This to the same weapon but in two hands mode. This is very important for a variety of reasons. I'm going to talk about it more details in a combat video. Now, by pressing and holding space, you will sprint. By releasing it for a brief second and pressing it again, you will jump. By pressing the space only once, you will move backwards, right? You will make this very simple dodge move. To make a more effective dodge move, press a directional key and press a space while doing it, right? So left space, right space, forward space, backward space. All of them will allow you to actually dodge the enemy more efficiently. Okay, this is about it. The other things we're gonna go ahead and go in combat to actually show you. There are two keys which lock onto the enemy, which is a major function in the game. There's a middle mouse key or there's O, right? You can use both, whatever's more comfortable for you. I suggest you getting used to use middle mouse key because it's just much more comfortable and closer to your fingers, but whatever works for you. In combat, you will be able to in combat you will be able to switch, but oh, it's another player, he just died. In combat you will be able, no, he's fighting. In combat you will be able to switch targets when you're locked on by simply moving your mouse button, but because it's so poorly designed, sometimes you will do it by accident, and I suggest you to immediately take off the focus off of the enemies, lest you are not afraid to die, because you will. Because you will die because of this. It's imperfections in the way game is ported on PC, and because of that you will often die to it. By pressing E, you will use your currently equipped item in the loadout. By pressing F, you can switch different items in your loadout very quickly. They are, of course, going to be switched by doing... They're gonna be switched like this, horizontally, right? Following from left to right, like this. They cannot be switched backwards. There's also a key on the mouse to do that. It's down, right? Scrolling down. There's no way to scroll up, so it's retarded, okay? It's not comfortable. Because if you make a mistake, we PC players, we often make something really fast, and then we fix the mistake. Here, there's no mistake fixing, so I suggest using F instead. There's also C, which allows you to change offhand weapon, and V, which allows you to change main hand weapon. R allows you to change currently equipped magic or... miracle. Whatever it is you have equipped, it allows you to switch it, right? Whatever is magical. Of a magical kind, let's put it this way. Oh! Dodged. Okay, let's switch to the two-hand. Okay, good, we dealt with them. So that's how you do that. That's how you control the game in the nutshell. I think I've covered everything. I really hope I did. That's very complicated to control the game like this, but once you get used to it, trust me, you will be able to do miracles with it without the gamepad, right? It's too bad that they didn't even bother to implement the game properly for us to play without using gamepad. It really saddens me because it's such a great game and it's such a horrendous port. Regardless of the fact, I hope this video was helpful for you. And that's about it for the controls of the Dark Souls on PC. If you enjoyed the video and my commentary, please do not forget to put a like on this video and favorite it. If you would like to see more videos from me on QuickSaveTV, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the video on the right to learn more about backstabbing, or click the video on the left to learn more about riposte and padding.